All right, seen this article. I have not read it. Reasons why Detroit Lions defense will be dominant. And the person that's on the thumbnail or the picture, it made me think that's one of the only reasons why they could be dominant this season. But let's read what they got to say. So this is wrote by John McEron. Uh, so he says, "Will Lions defensive line overachieve in 2025?" It says Detroit Lions defensive line has dealt with plenty of questions in the offseason regarding whether or not they'll be good enough to help the team ultimately win the Super Bowl. Now, I'll say this, to interject here, I don't think the D line is in question. I think their ability to sack the quarterback is in question. They have one of the league's dominant edge rushers, Aiden Hutchinson, but have not found a dominant player to pair him with because many analysts believe the team's pass rush will not have enough firepower. That's why you see every day they say, "Oh, bring back Zadarius Smith." However, the Lions do feel confident. Brad Holmes feels confident in Marcus Davenport's ability to impact the game when healthy as a result of prioritizing re-signing him another season, which was stupid. I care if that motherfucker came to work for free. That was dumb. In my opinion, that was very, very dumb. So I don't really understand that train of thought of it, but hey, so be it. So be it. But however, the Lions do feel confident in Marcus Davenport's ability impact the game when he's healthy as a result. However, the production is in defensive line can wind up being a very impactful factor for the Lions. The best defenses have pass rush and coverage units that can complement each other perfectly, which can lead to a perfect blend of success. Quote, when you have a good defensive line, you don't rely on the secondary to blitz so much, to bring so much pressure. And we've seen that in the Super Bowl, this writer said. Quote, if you can win with four and you have an opportunity to open things up, now we can get to the point we ask question marks about Terriana and his rack straw can go away, which I don't have a question about. Like, how can you question Ennis Rackstraw? How are we questioning the guy that didn't fucking play because of a hamstring injury? And Terrion Arnold, when you look at what he did, that was impressive. I really don't like people just get into like shop talk. Terrion is fucking phenomenal, bro. If you see what he did, like they just talking about some plays early on in the season and this, that, and the third. Dude, that dude played lights out down the stretch. That dude played lights out, man. But like I said before, a lot of the internet talk and all that type of stuff and so a lot of that just be internet talk. A bunch of people who don't know nothing about playing basketball. It works as a puzzle. The quarterback help. Look here, I'm not concerned about their coverage at all. Let me say that. I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned. They talking about Ernest Rackstraw. Like, dude, this dude ain't even starting. Like, what are we talking about? Ain't that crazy, dog? Like, they be just, oh, yeah. I mean, how we have a question about a guy we ain't seen and probably won't see? Let me say this. This article said a whole bunch of fucking nothing. let me finish it. A new defensive line coach, Casey Rogers, Lions could benefit from having a new voice. And look here, this thing, it's not about that. This fucking worthless article wrote this shit. Worthless. Look here, the man in the screen, him going back playing defensive tackle on a 1-year deal. If he can be what he's supposed to be coming in from the back injury, they're gonna have a lot of success. If they can get the pass rush from him up the middle of the defense, it's gonna be a wrap. They're gonna be in the Super Bowl, flat out. No, do I still think they need to find somebody on the edge? Yes, but more importantly, the misconception is that Aiden Hutchinson's his crony or his ace has to be on the other side of that defensive edge. No, that doesn't necessarily mean that. The most disruptive place to get pressure on a quarterback is right up the middle. So if Anzarike can press the pocket up the middle, and he can stay healthy, him and Hudson, it's over with. They got enough of supporting cast around them. From Malachi, what's his name, Wingo, you know what I'm saying? From DJ Reader, they got enough people they can. But if they can do their job, then cool. But I would say they probably need to bring back Darius Smith. That defense, that edge position looking real weak. I don't trust no 5th, 6th round pick from Boise State. I'll tell you that right now. They can speak his praises up. He was in the 6th round for a reason. Just my humble opinion on it, respectfully. So yeah, if they're gonna be successful, it's just pass rush. It's not an indictment on the defensive line. Let me tell you that. It's not an indictment on the defensive line. The issue with the pass rush is the pass rush. It's nothing stopping the run, gap discipline. Uh, you know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. That's the thing with me. You know that's the thing with me, man. So yeah, stop the run, stop the hit after the passer. So maybe they got if when you play man to man coverage the way you play man to man coverage, then that also becomes an issue. That also becomes an issue. So so I mean, but nonetheless, it's just really who can step up, whether it's Ringo, whether it's on that line. You got to remember, Lee McNeil gonna be out for a minute too. Who's gonna step up? Who's gonna step up and provide a pass rush? I think the best candidate is Anzarike. He don't have to play the big end no more. If he can play that defensive tackle position, cool. Now, do I expect what's the dude's name? Tyleek Wallace Williams, whatever his name. Do I expect him to be any good as far as the power? No, that didn't happen overnight for Lee McNeil. Lee McNeil had to lose a little bit of weight. Then he became a more effective pass rusher. So I don't really see that happening. But right away, maybe a couple years. But yeah, I mean, it's really gonna have to be him. you know, Enrique until Lehman. And then if Lee McNeil do come back, I mean, you think about another year at that weight to be a pass rusher. I wouldn't expect much from him. Even come back anytime this year. So if not, I expect somebody that size to have probably setbacks coming off the ACL if we being real. So we'll see what happens. But if a guy if there's any guy in the roster that's gonna have an impact on, that can change the trajectory of this pass rush is him. And then you're looking at the schedule on the right. I mean, you're looking at the schedule next year, or some of the guys they playing, Kansas City, Baltimore, Philadelphia, Washington, Chicago. You playing a lot of mobile quarterbacks, so it just seemed like they got a problem that they ain't willing to fix or spend money to fix. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, check out Detroit Lions top playlist. Hit the link tree. You can find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon, Kick, Twitch, wherever I'm producing that. Inside the link tree is the first link in the description. Peace.